Good Wednesday morning, neighbors. I don't know about the audio on this one. My microphone on my head jacks stopped working. I don't know how that works, but it doesn't. So, there's this thing we all know about it at some level called a life cycle. Anyone starting to gray maybe thinks differently about life cycles and what's the end of all of this. Personally, I think it just stops and everyone else goes on. But this life cycle idea, what does it cost? What does life cost? How do you maintain that? So a big part of that in today's world is energy. You could actually look at energy consumption, electricity consumption. Now, it's hard to weed out because industrialized nations use a whole lot of industrial electricity. But you can find some numbers out there to see how much a nation's population uses in energy. How much does a person need in energy? I went through this experiment building a camper van. How much electricity does it take for me to carry suburbia around? To have a microwave, to have a gas propane stove, to have air conditioning, to sustain that out in the wilderness. Well, I found the answer for the way I lived, which was very minimal, to be about 2 kilowatts per hour. When you walked away from that van, between the refrigerator in there, the charging system, the lights left on, the fan you might be running, or try to run an air conditioner with a 2 kilowatt load limit. You can do it, but for how long? So that 2 kW number is an interesting number to carry around in your mind, and it's different. Every country is different. Some countries, the majority of the population does not have a refrigerator. A refrigerator running is probably one of the biggest drivers of your constant electricity. Air conditioning you can turn off and on. You can use a fan instead of that air conditioner. So in doing that exercise, you learn a little bit about energy needs. When you take that RV out in the desert at 112 degrees, I think I hit for a few days in a row, out somewhere by Tucson, I guess. How well your ideas hold up. And they did hold up. And I sweated a lot. So 2 kilowatts is just a reference number. You could make that what you please. What does that mean? Well, when you leave the house, the refrigerator stays on. And whatever else you've got that stays on. You left your computers on, they're draining energy. You left some chargers just plugged in the wall, they drain energy. Just little bits. You convert it all to LED lights, and you save a lot of energy. That's kind of a noble thing to do, admit that these lights are a good thing, right? The same people that brought you COVIDiots brought you light bulb fools. If something is said enough, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to tolerate it or put up with it. And our planet's old and round. So 2 kilowatts. Like I said, that runs a microwave when you want to run it, because the microwave only runs for a few minutes, and poof, you've got hot water. If you heat that water in a boiler, in a kettle, you burn much more energy than that microwave just did. It's really just how it works. So the microwave can be viewed as a good thing, an energy saver thing. We have no record of harm from microwaves. We also have record of if you stick your head in a microwave, it will harm you. People have thought about these things. So 2 kilowatts. 2 kilowatts get you a frozen pop when you return home. get you a mint julep or whatever else your enjoyments from the refrigerator world is. But imagine people that don't have a refrigerator, don't have ice. They're lucky to have a fan. That fan is their base load. So 2 kilowatts, what does that mean? Getting ready to travel. The burden I bring with me everywhere I go is about 2 kilowatts. If I go out in the jungles of the Amazon, I'm going to expect 2 kilowatts. Or on the other side, I know my 2 kilowatts are a jungle's march away, right? 2 kilowatts. That's the burden I bring when I travel somewhere else. Now, maybe that's not the true number, but you go visit a village in the middle of nowhere and they feed you. You just consumed some of the energy, the base energy that keeps them going. Now, maybe that's thinking too much kind of tourism, but that's what you can bring with you. The expectation that you can walk down the street to a 7-Eleven and get a cold drink, that the 7-Eleven's refrigerators are on. So this 2 kilowatt, this life cycle idea, the cost of today and the total cost of today. I've used 2 kilowatt hours all of my life. I've used considerably more. The industry I worked in was dealing in megawatts, gigawatts of 3-phase high-power electricity. Because that's what works out there. That's what is working. It's right next to you. It's hiding in plain sight. That 2 kilowatt number. Now you can argue that number. We could debate that number, and I could bring it way up depending on the suburbia that you live in. Because I didn't include the energy it took to put the concrete or the paved road in front of your house. 2 kilowatts. Gross profits can be theft. Can Biden repair our justice system? Can Democrats, do they want to repair our justice for all system? 2 kilowatts. Where do you spend it? It is humid. We're in fall weather in the middle of August. This is the dog days of summer in some places. And still no rain. The haze is as much smoke and humidity as it is anything else. And it's just a bit overcast. The clouds keep going by. Peace out. Be safe. Wear a mask.